What's up, guys? Laura from Africa, aka Rogan Azran, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about why women invade male spaces and hobbies. I want to shout out Darren Miles for this video, and let's get into the video. The reason why you see women are invading male spaces and trying to steal our hobbies is because you have to look at this is another way for women to siphon energy and attention from men. Whenever men are not giving women attention, you guys have to understand that this is very hurtful to women. I mean, this is their weakness. This is their type of just, garlic to them because it's like I said, these women that you see nowadays who are at these anime expo events, these women that you see cosplaying and dressing as these anime characters. I mean, most of these women that you see at these anime expo events don't even like anime like that. They're just going to the expo event so they can cosplay and use their body, their beauty and sexuality as a monetary gain to get more vulnerable men that will simp for them and follow their OnlyFans and Instagram pages. When was the last time you even had a coherent conversation with a woman in real life about an anime she really likes? And most of the TV series and the animes they like Attack on Titan, like Hunter x Hunter, all of these shows are just mainstream things. So these women are just going for the thrill of it and they just flock to whatever is popular. And even when we talk about the topic of video games, if you've noticed over the years and you have an Xbox or PlayStation, you go on some of these posts, like on Xbox, right? I remember I would get on there and sometimes I would still see, women who were just making an Xbox post saying, I need people to join this party, 3-man party, 5-man party, join up. And there would be over 9 or 11 people who were trying to join up in their party. Now, a few of these would be women, but the majority of them were men, obviously, because that's how bad the dating market is, guys. Imagine why so many men are joining these women's parties on things like Xbox and PlayStation. A simple voice chat to join a woman because they aren't getting any type of female attention, affection. And these women are just basically just talking through a mic. And these men are just joining up to listen to that. Like, these guys aren't trying to solely just play video games. They're trying to talk to women as well because they know women are on these video game consoles nowadays. And women as well themselves know that so many men are desperate and alone and wanting female attention. So this is another reason why women are at an all-time high starting to play more video games like we have nowadays in 2024 with all these female Twitch streamers who are playing video games, like Valorant. I mean, they are in these industries that are male spaces because they are trying to gain something from it. And this is what most men do not understand. Women are always trying to gain something from you, whether you realize it or not on an unconscious level. Like, why do you think women love gossip stories so much? I mean, there were things like Sex in the City, a lot of these gossip like shows, like Bad Girls Club. A lot of these things have gossip and action to it. And when women come into these male spaces and the hobbies that we have as men, right, like video games, anime, these women in turn bring that drama and nonsense into the male space and the hobbies that we like playing, like these video games, like I'm playing right now, Final Fantasy Online. So whenever you have women that are just entering into the male space, you have to understand it's all for a selfish gain. It's never for really connecting with people. I very rarely see a woman who is actually trying to connect with her fans, on a deep emotional level. Most of these women that you see on these big growing platforms, they're just using it to get attention, get monetary gain. Because it's like I keep telling you, it's similar to the dating market. Women will use any tactic, women will use any type of shaming language in order to get what they can out of you. This is why you see the majority of men are desperate for some type of female affection, because they are being starved on this on a daily basis. So whenever these women go to these anime expos, whenever these women are online talking to these random men, they're going to join up and want to hear it because they're not getting anything. Now, imagine if the dating market was a lot different, and you had it to where men could actually get a woman in their life without having to go through all the just nonsense of dealing with just repetitive ghosting, dealing with gaslighting, dealing with just shaming on such a high level. These women would not have the type of male fan base they would have right now. Well, would you still have men who are like, simps, desperate or whatever, still trying to join these women, talk to them, even at these anime expo events, still look at them cosplay? Yeah, because that's in male nature to want to be promiscuous somewhat to an extent. But when you look at it for what it is, the situation is only worse because men are not getting the type of natural affection that they should be getting from women of their own age group and all above. So when we look at things for what they really are and male spaces as of right now, like I could use another example of the manosphere. You started having women like, what's her name? Sean Body, a few of these women, Melanie King. A lot of these women started making these YouTube videos, talking about the manosphere. And it's like these women are even in the real dating pool. They aren't even dealing with men themselves. And then when they're in these manosphere type of just environments, these women are usually trying to give their own just jaded advice to men to why they're failing in dating. The reason why they can't attract women. The reason why men cannot attract women in this modern day and age is simple. It's basically because women have high standards. They find the majority of men as unattractive. Women are basically raised up, guys. If you actually understand something right now, women are raised up to disrespect you. They're raised up to basically be mini men. Women are the replacement for men. Why do you think that women of nowadays have such a hard time respecting men? They have such a hard time being in their actual feminine energy. They have such a hard time of actually communicating with men in a healthy manner because they do not value men and they're raised up this way. Whenever you have women telling younger women that, oh, you need to get whatever you can off of men. And this is going to include them going into male spaces and the hobbies we have, you see, because they're gaining something from it. They're extracting and extracting. There was the whole thing with Neon and his girlfriend. I remember a while back, right, of how he was going out with a girl who did OnlyFans. And basically, to come and behold, she left him. I mean, it really wasn't a shocker. I mean, if your girl is doing OnlyFans that you're interested in, I mean, it's just a very foolish move, especially if you know this from the beginning. So when you look at a lot of these live streamers and the men that are entertaining these women as well, they're ending up on the bad side of the stick because these women are gaining their fan base and they're leaving them. I mean, there are so many men that are on YouTube right now still wondering how they ended up in the divorce they ended up in, still wondering how a woman came into their life and entered their fan space, their male space, and the hobbies they have, whether that's into gaming, whether that's into vlogging, still wondering how these women were able to siphon that type of attention and just take them for all they had and left them once they got everything they needed. And this is the main thing that most of you guys in this black pill manosphere need to understand, that women are only looking to gain something from you when it's necessary. Anytime you have men who are top tier men, like these Chads, Tyrones, etc., who are complaining that they can't even get women to stay with them, who are complaining that these women are coming into their spaces and They're kind of manipulating them with their female beauty, etc. What do you think is going to happen to you as an average regular man or just a subpar man? What do you think is going to happen to you once you start interacting with these women? Once you start hanging out with these women in the male space? You are going to get used up for your attention, for your time, and you're not getting anything out of it. This is why everything that you have to do online, it really has to limit the type of interaction you have with not only toxic women trying to take things from you, you have to limit your interaction with men as well to a certain extent. Because a lot of these men nowadays, they're looking to put their insecurities on other people because they're sad, they're unhappy. And I understand, that would affect any man. And any guy would come off as aggressive, and just loud toned and more just bitter, I should say, because they aren't getting the natural type of affection, that they're supposed to have as a human being. And this could come from them not having a good family, not having women in their life, etc. But you get my point. So the reason why these women are invading male spaces and the hobbies we have, like games and videos and animes, is simple in itself. They're there to gain, they're there to conquer and divide. That is the name of the game for these women. This is why it doesn't make sense to put yourself out there as a guy, because you're going to end up on the bad stick of the spectrum and things are not going to work out for you. This is why you're better off just limiting your contact with people, especially talking to women on these male spaces and video game platforms, because you're only going to find yourself in a load of drama. And I can tell you from this, for myself, from experience. You start letting some of these women around you, they have bad attitudes. They already are coming from a dysfunctional society. They might not come from the best home. And what do you think is going to happen? These women are then in turn going to put that toxicity, going to put more nonsense in your life, going to spread gossip about you. And then before you know it, your career is over in the male space and whatever hobby you try to pursue. And she's gaining more fans and followers. This is how the game goes with women. So do not be a fool. Don't be an imbecile and let yourself get astray because you want to have a female around you just to hear her voice and just glamorize and glorify her beauty, which you're never going to have anyway. But this has been another video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you want me to elaborate on in the comment sections. I would appreciate it. If I forgot your comment, it's probably because I've been very busy, but just remind me in the comment sections what you want me to talk about. I'm going to start writing them now, but you guys take care. I'll see you in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.